we definitely have the talent. We did a lot of good things, and when we looked at the mistakes we did make, they were mental breakdowns or lack of awareness of situation, just small things, penalties that were avoidable, a lot of self-inflicted things. So the good thing about that is that those are easily corrected, but at the end of the day, if you want to win games, you do got to go about it and correct those.
Jim Schwartz said yesterday that as close as this team is, being 3-1, you guys could also easily be 0-4. Is that something that this defense realizes, as well as how close you guys could be to finding success but also losing it?
I don't think we put our focus on losing it, but I think the reality is we've been in a lot of tight games, and so when we look at how we want to have success in the future, we're going to be in those close situations, those tight games where it's going to come down to the end. We've got to be poised enough to execute under those conditions, to be able to not make mistakes that are self-inflicted, and so as we look at where we are, it kind of probably is indicative of how things will go as far as playing in some tight games.
4 games in, where would you say this defense is?
We're 2-2. We played well enough to be 2-2, and so we got another opportunity against a really good quarterback, an explosive offense to go compete in front of our home crowd. So working hard to get there.
I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but Schwartz really backed Jalen Mills. As the leader of this defense, what gives you guys so much confidence in Jalen?
I mean, his ability to continue to work, and we see what he does day in and day out, to work on his technique, to compete, his confidence to be out there, on an island by himself, and ask for the best receiver that's out there and never flinch. And so, I don't think anybody on this team or in this building doubts what Jalen Mills can do. He takes a lot of heat because we put a lot of pressure on him, because we think he's capable enough to handle that, especially in this city.
Avonte Maddox kind of got put into safety there. I mean,
yeah.
You made that transition when you came in the league. You had played corner for a couple of years before you did that.
Yeah.
How'd that go for him? What did you see? What do you teach him?
We got a pick, so it started out really well. I thought he did well with the limited snaps that we gave him. It was kind of a short turnaround. He's going to be somebody I think we want to expand his role as much as we can, but obviously not trying to overload him with the entire defense. But I thought he stepped in and played well. He's an explosive player that we've been looking to get on the field, and so this is his opportunity.
He said that you've been kind of quiet with the defense, and the communication's a big role with you guys, but you want him to kind of learn how to make those calls.
Yeah.
Communicate those calls. How big a challenge is that for him to come in? He seems pretty soft-spoken.
I mean, that's one of the biggest things you miss, I think, from not having Rodney back there is somebody to be able to call the defense, get people lined up, and speak confidently. When the crowd's loud and things are happening, you're trying to communicate. You have to be loud and assertive so that everybody believes the calls that you're making. Everybody calms down, is on the same page. And so, we'll make it as hard as we can for him this week, so that hopefully, if he gets in the game and that's the situation, that it's easy.
Avonte and Sidney both say you played a huge role in their development. What are you seeing both of them to really add to this defense?
Well, I mean, I think they both have unique skill sets. Sidney, I think, is a great athlete who's long, has really good ball skills. The biggest thing for him is just understanding the game, what offenses are trying to do as he's trying to learn that slot position, and just being consistent. And he's been playing really well for us, actually. And Avonte, kind of being that next DB up, has to learn a multitude of positions, but he has the opportunity as a young, explosive player to fit in, wherever on the squad. So just trying to get him to learn the safety spot, the nickel, maybe the dime, so that we have flexibility based on who we play, where he can get on the field.
In Jalen's case, obviously the last 2+ years have shown he's never short on confidence.
Yeah.
But when he's going through either a skid or public criticism, however you define it, how does he deal with that behind the scenes, and what's your message to him behind the scenes?
Well, my message to him is always, don't give it your energy. He's somebody who's highly competitive, and that's something you don't just turn off, when the game's on. So I think, at times that's something that he uses to fuel him. But you know, at the same time, you don't want what everybody says to be using up your energy and your thoughts, because that's what destroys your confidence. Or you give up a play in a game, and it's the first thing you think about is what they're going to say afterwards. So the biggest thing is just focusing on what he can control, continuing to believe in himself, working on his technique, and playing his game. We all understand, or trying to reemphasize that our opinions in this locker room of him are probably more important than anybody else. We understand the defenses. We know when it's his fault, when it's not. And so, while he does take the brunt of a lot of the things that are unnecessary, that sometimes are out of his control, in here we just try to reiterate that, we obviously believe in him, we trust in him, and won't bat an eye.
What are you expecting from the Vikes this weekend? How much extra motivation or retaliation based on what happened this past January?
I'm not worried about retaliation. We're trying to win a game. They're an explosive offense that just came out of a tough loss, a shootout with the Rams. And they got players all over the field. Obviously, last time they came to the link wasn't the best showing for them, so they'll be ready to redeem that. But for us, we're in a position where we need a win. Coming back home, we're looking to put some better tape out there.
What does Kirk Cousins add to their offense that wasn't there before?
I wouldn't say wasn't there before. They had a really good team last year. I think Kirk Cousins is a really good passer, especially when he gets on rhythm. If he's able to get the ball out of his hands, all of a sudden, he's as good as any in this league. But I think you have an opportunity maybe to rattle him if you can take away some of those reads, get some hits on him early. You look at what he looked like against the Rams and what he looked like against the Bills, and they're two different guys. And I think that's directly, because of the type of pressure that he was on. So they did a good job of adjusting, getting the ball out of his hands, not letting him get hit, and he can kill you. I've seen him do it when he was with the Redskins, put up 400 yards on us because he's just getting the ball out. So we got to find a way in the secondary to make him hold it, make him go through his reads, and hopefully get some pressure up front.
How much of the Eagles' offense do you see the Vikings, what John DeFilippo is doing with that team?
Not as much as like the Colts, where we saw almost an identical replica of our offense. There's small things here or there, but they're running some different things.